So you're welcome.
Boom.
Welcome, guys. It is Hector. It is Papa Smurf. It is breaking down the tape. I said what I said, and little do you know, we have spoken of the man himself in past episodes, and finally, we have brought him on, and you can see his face. The Philly man himself, the drunken fucking monkey. Yeah.
That's how you introduce the guest right there.
Pulled out all the stops for you, brother.
That's it.
And you know what? Shout out to the boys from from Jack and Can, because I took a little of that from John's aroma. I felt his aroma. I felt John's aroma, and I knew that he would represent Drunken Monkey that way, so I had to do it for him.
That's how we doing it.
So, Monkey, before we get into it, brother, let everybody know where they can find you, what you're all about, who you is, all the good shit, bro.
So, basically, I'm the king of this app called Sports Me, where
that's what they say
over there. So, I'm on that. Just search the Drunken Monkey, and I mean, you can't miss me. I'm just go to the leaderboard, all-time leaders, follow. So,
because he's been there forever.
Longevity
stats on Instagram at Drunken Monkey 82, and then on Twitter at Drunken Monkey U, like the U. Even though I fucking hate Miami, but I had to reach a certain letter, so I picked the U. So at which fantasy Twitter, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, is a shit show. So just enjoy the ride with that shit. So
fantasy Twitter is something else, Monkey. I know Hector's not on Twitter, but
apparently with the way that Yaga is going, I gotta get on this shit.
Dog. I've never met so many sports geniuses in my life.
Oh my God, everyone's the best of the best, bro.
Yeah, nothing but the best.
Well, that's what this episode's about. Just being a sports genius. We're gonna have our own. It's like this is the greatest moment, Drunken Monkey. That's why I spoke to you in the DMs, and I'm like, "Yo, we should make this happen." Like it's right before the season. We can make our own predictions.
Yeah.
and then you know what? A little foreshadowing. For you guys that do or do not listen, Drunken Monkey will be on a future episode. I'm not just when, but he will be on a future episode.
Might have something to do with the Jets-Eagles playing.
That might have something to do with it. Right here.
Just right a little bit.
Man, just a little bit. My wife done open the windows and shit like it's...
On Sports Me, you said you're watching the Ohio State game.
The ball right now with us right now.
So let me tell you what happened. I was going to set up out in the living room, right, and do everything out there so I could watch the Ohio State game. And my daughter had gymnastics or whatever, so she came home from practice, 3 hours of practice, and she's eating dinner. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'll go upstairs. And my wife's like, you ain't sitting out here making all that fucking noise. So go in your office, and that's where you might be. So now I'm like some fucking commoner getting the updates.
That's why they gave you the glow ring. That's why they gave you the glow ring.
I said, God damn, it's like they was set. She was like, go play with your little friends. I was like, all right.
Thanks, Mom.
In the back room, you get a glow ring.
Better bring me a damn pudding pop or something. Crazy.
All right,
but I did take Ohio State in the 14.5, and they're up 7 driving already again. So that's good.
I mean, it's Ohio State, Minnesota. It's Ohio State, Minnesota. How could you not take 14.5?
Right, I don't get it because Ohio State's coming out to put their dick down.
I take 56.5 at that point.
They got next week. Like you can't come out looking like a bitch.
Yeah, for real. Honestly, I'll tell you what. I haven't watched a lick of college football, which is a shame, and I really should. But I just canceled all of my DirecTV and bullshit because they were paying far too much money. So now I've got to find a way to stream it, and I'm sure I can go to Reddit or some shit like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at ways to try to stream as well because I just canceled. Spectrum's $190 for fucking cable Wi-Fi, and I'm like, bro, I can definitely like get less than that.
Get at me after this. I'm not going to admit the shit on camera, but get at me after this, and I'll send you a message. So
Roger that.
We'll help you out. But
all right, so here we go. We've got a. By the way, before we respond to James here, I would just like your weight in this battle. Whose bridges are better, New York City or Boston?
There's nothing about Boston that's better than New York City.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy Pibbles. Take a seat.
And I like New York City. I mean, that tells you how bad Boston is. I mean, I like New York City, but it ain't. No, Boston's a shit show. I can't. You can't get around it.
James does not like that.
I've only been to Boston once, and it was recent. It was earlier this year. Me and Chrissy finally went to Boston. I seen Fenway, been around the stadium, and I looked around and I was like, this is garbage. This is what it's around your stadium. This. Like, it's just nothing but construction and one-way streets and, like, just fucking fuckery.
Just look at the aerial view of Boston streets and New York City streets.
At least when you go to Yankee Stadium, you go to Yankee Stadium, you can at this point in the modern day, because I remember in the 90s, it wasn't like this. But in the modern day.
In the 90s, you were like 2 years old.
No.
Remember?
In the 90s, yes, I was born in 92, so I'm almost 30. But 95, 96, 97, when I'm 5, 6, 7 years old and I'm going to Yankee Stadium, the streets were never shut down. Now, when you go to Yankee Stadium, they shut down the streets around Yankee Stadium, where it's just nothing but vendors. Right. So you can walk the streets around Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, that's awesome. That makes it so much easier.
Real quick, other than, James being mad that we all agree that New York City bridges are better and him hating cheesesteaks, he says Olave is the best wide receiver in college football, second place Zay Flowers. How do we feel about that, Monkey?
Okay, it's week 1. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of these guys, we ain't going to know their names till week 6. You know what I mean? So
that's a fact.
The thing you're looking at now is how well teams are constructed, how well they've recruited, and what pedigrees and establishments they have, right? So when I'm looking, Ohio State is established, right? You can name any receiver on Ohio State, and they could be a top 5, 10 receiver this year. When we're in this early stages of the season, I mean, tomorrow's a big game. Is it tomorrow?
What up, Alex?
Saturday. Saturday's a big game. Saturday's Clemson, Georgia, right? We're going to find out a lot. I mean,
and a lot of people have been talking about that game too, thinking Georgia's going to upset Clemson.
I took Clemson. It was 3.5, so I took them on my card. So we'll see. But I took Clemson just because the quarterback looked phenomenal last year against Notre Dame. I forget the kid's name, but he looked great. And then they have, you can't count them out. They've been there. But you could possibly Georgia or Clemson get a Heisman Trophy guy runner coming. You know what I mean? Front runner coming out of that game.
Right.
Because look, Ohio State plays Oregon.
Right.
The only thing that scares me about both Ohio State and Clemson is Clemson, yeah, we knew who Deshaun Watson was. We knew who Trevor Lawrence was. We don't really know who the next guy in Clemson, like you said, you could barely even mention his name. We could, yeah, he's good. Obviously, he's Clemson, but it scares me because I don't know where Clemson's going after those 2 phenoms that they just had. And then with Ohio State, it's you had, and people can try to shit on me, but Dwayne Haskins came in that 1 year and threw up a big year.
Yeah.
And now Justin Fields comes out and he does what he does. But then when you look at the Justin Fields, you're like, who's next?
Yeah. This kid Stroud's 3 for 5 with 25 yards. Stroud, what's his name? Strode? I don't fucking know. But like I said, I really don't even dive in because I have such a hard time with college football now because of the fact that they transfer so much, right? These kids move around. You see them on ESPN. for the high school games and stuff. You're like, I remember him. He's good. And then they're gone. They're here. They're there. They're this. They're that. Like everybody's like, oh, like a perfect example. Baker Mayfield. He transferred. Well, he left Texas Tech because he couldn't beat Patrick Mahomes out for a job. And so it's like they move around and they're allowed to. So at this point, you're like, all right, like, and people are like, this kid Baker Mayfield, and it's like, well, he's from Texas Tech. Like, he's played a little bit. Like, he knows what's going on. So it's weird. So, like I said, I enjoy the games more up until about week 6 when I've learned a little bit about these kids and who's for real and who's not. And then when you go back to when we look back on it, all the preseason All-Americans and rankings and shit, we're like, oh, okay, like, it's just like the fantasy football ranking shit that guys do. I love this guy. You name enough of them, you're going to be fucking right at some point. So, I mean, it's just not
like
nice.
Sports Me.
I was going to say, that's the Sam's Hot Takes version.
Will be that someone that plays football wins.
Yeah, somebody's going to win a football game this week. I can promise you. Like,
no shit.
It's insane.
That's a crazy take. I would not put that up on fantasy football Twitter. That's going to create a lot of drama now.
It will. It'll end a lot of careers.
Clemson is a program status. Ooh.
Is a what?
Is at program status. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
For the next day. I guess what I understand what he's saying. They're at a program. Like he's saying they're one of those, like Alabama. They're one of those programs where no matter what happens at this point forward, they will always get talent to come in and be a dominant force in college football.
Yeah, until Saban leaves, of course. And then they'll there probably. But,
I mean, it's going to take a long time before they end up like dropping down, but I get what he's trying to say. Like it's one of those teams, Alabama, Clemson, Gamecocks is getting up there, where it's those teams where they're just a force and you can't fuck with them.
Yeah, South Carolina's always been kind of on that edge of being an actual football team and not.
What's up,
always kind of like sit
Mikey C, Mikey C, like he's like Marky Mark from the fucking 1995 fucking rap band.
No, I think what it is now is that this is the perfect time of year, early college football. Like tonight's like the real first big debut of shit.
Right.
You can just sit back and enjoy it. Figure out, like, I don't have any expectation for these kids. They're young. They're just like, look, let them play, enjoy it. When we get to week 6 or 7, things are going to start ironing themselves out, and we'll start seeing who's who. But
of course,
right now, Ohio State's just driving the ball right down Minnesota's throat. I mean,
I feel like it's easier to predict an NFL like beforehand what happens in the season than it is college. Like right now, like you said. It's not till like week 5 or 6 in college where you're like, all right, these are the guys in college to be watching for.
Yeah.
The NFL, by week 3, you're like, all right, we can see what's happening.
Right.
I was going to say, in the NFL, you know what coaches are coaching, what scheme. You've seen players for a long time. I mean, you have your rookie class that comes out and, you don't really know what you're getting. But like you said, I mean, the game solidifies itself so much faster in the NFL than it does in college football.
Well, and it's because, like, you're looking at it like we're dealing with children in an essence, right? You could tell me they're 18 or not, but these are guys these are kids, most of them who've been nurtured because of their talent for all this time, right? So they've always been the best player on their team. You know what I mean? They've always been the best at the best at. And then they get to college, and it's that first little stepping stone where it's like, now you're playing like Ohio State and Oregon next week, Clemson and Georgia this week. Now you're, for the younger players, now you're playing the best players on their team too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so everybody's was the best. So now it's time to see who's actually going to be able to progress and who's going to just cave in. So, and Georgia, I never believed in Georgia. Who believes?
It's also very difficult with colleges. Like, this is why I don't pay too much attention. Like, I pay a little bit of attention to college, but I don't pay too much attention to college in the fact where, like you said, like, all right, now it's the best of the best.
Yeah.
So
but college is simple. I mean, Alex put up.
No, just hear me out. Someone gets to go to Clemson or Alabama or Ohio State. you could be the best of the best, and then you end up only being able to go to South Carolina State.
Yeah.
For all I fucking know. And then, you get shit on because of the school you went to or because of the opportunity you were given. Like, you weren't given the chance to go to that other program. You know what I mean?
But then you see a lot of guys going into junior colleges and stuff like that too, and then they're transferring to someplace like they're finding their footing. But like I said, the great thing about college football to me is that it's the purest form of football to me, like at a high level, elite level, and we can just really sit back and just watch it. Like honestly, just enjoy it. Like people they go ass crazy over these schools sometimes. I'm like, dude, they're not even, well, now they're getting paid, but before they were.
Well, I'm about to ask you about that. So first of all, this is not a very hot take by Quentin A. He's got Alabama 1 this year. Yeah, that's not really a hot take, Alex. I definitely agree. And secondly, how do you feel about the NIL? I know we haven't talked about it too much here on the show. I brought it up very briefly in the past, but how do you feel about the NIL and players getting paid, I should say?
So I was never for it, I guess you would say, like at all. I believe that their education was their payment. But then at the end of the day, you sit there and you say, well, the good ones are going to get paid anyway, right?
Sure.
So it's always been this underhanded, sneaky, dirty side of college football. Maybe with doing this, you can polish that a little bit and make it like, look, it's legit. They're paying taxes. They're getting, what they're getting ahead in life. So if this college thing doesn't work out, they are getting something out of it. Like, a kid, the Ohio State kid, didn't he sign like $1.4 million deal with 4?
Yeah, like their freshman rookie or something. Or their freshman quarterback.
The minute they allowed it was like a $1.3 million deal or some shit.
Yeah, and sorry, I'm instant messaging my daughter to bring me a beer. So and
perfect.
And it's like
breaking down the tape.
And so if this kid blows his knee out next week, right? God forbid.
Right.
He made a little cash, and he could still get his degree and he could still do things. So I wasn't fully. I'm just interested to see how they're going to regulate it, or how they're going to regulate it.
So
right?
when my thing when it comes to it, so with the whole paying players, like you said, players like the best players eventually are going to get paid.
Right.
I think they should eventually break it down. If they do it the right way, they should break it down to tiers, like top 3 tier, tier 1 players can make up to this much. Tier 2 players can make up to this, something like that because before they obviously allowed this, it was like a mini NFL and they were just milking off of all the greatest names before they can reach the NFL.
And maybe even think of something like reverse it, like base it off their star system, right? So a 5-star recruit can make less because he's more likely to go to the NFL.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? He can make a little more.
Before they sign before they sign, like if they're a 5-star recruit and they go to sign to Alabama, they're allowed up to X amount of dollars.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I lessened on that. Like I used to be.
That's not what I said. I like this Joe Morley sports show guy.
Joe Morley's up on this bitch.
Yeah, he came specifically for you, Monkey.
Specifically for you, bro. Specifically for you.
Joe Morley. I honestly miss him on Sportsman. I was sad. Like that's why I don't know if you guys seen that.
That's not what I said, Joe.
I did. I saw that.
I said.
The TikTok I did of those we've lost on Sportsman this year. And it pained me to put Joe Morley's picture up there. I love talking sports with Joe Morley. Mike, Mike's a little something. I like Mike. He's all right. But Joe is my guy. Joe was my guy. I want him back on Sportsman. Joe, if you're watching, 2 posts a week. 2 posts. Let me know you're doing all right.
We need a check-in post from Joe Morley.
Oh, Game Boy's not feeling nice about that.
See, jealousy and worse players. Like Monkey said before, though, people are getting paid in cash and McDonald's bags here. I mean, I personally think it should be a percentage system. If your team makes X percent or X amount of dollars, then 20% of revenue goes to the players, and then based off of your play time, if you play X amount of time, you get X percentage of that revenue. Period. End of story.
I can agree to that. Like I said, I'm cool with it now more than like I was, but at the same time, I'm like, it's got a ways to go. I think it's not the end. There's really a lot of problems before it gets better. I think.
Yeah.
Right. But we talk about the NCAA here.
You just got to think about it. They just allowed, after so many years, that people Mike sucks is all about Joe. Stupid. They just allowed the fact that these players now can start trying to make some type of revenue. So to even that's just a crack in the barrier of what we can potentially do with college football, because we know what college football is. It's a very corrupt system.
Yeah, they're $1 billion programs.
Right. And the NCAA is just trash in general, so they're going to drag their feet on this. They're going to fuck it up. It's going to be another 50 years before it even comes close to a decent system.
Oh yeah, easily, and they're probably going to revoke it 2 or 3 times. Like,
sure,
like that. Like, but like when these kids, I would also say it has to be part of your GPA, right? Like, I would make it something like that. Like, look, if you want to get paid, you better have a fucking 3.0 at least. Like,
right.
Like, do that for me. Have a high B average. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Like right now, like it's going to be a freight train for a while. 10 points. Who kicks field goals? Come on, Ohio State.
Gotta beat the spread, man.
I got a question. I got a question for the monkey himself. Since we got well, 3 of us here are part of the Hoove Tribunal League, you know. I just want to know straight up, from when it started to where we are now, your thoughts and situations about everything from the draft to everything to now.
Well, who do I play first? I pulled it up actually because I knew this was.
I think it's me and you.
I play Wyo, and I'm about to scrape that motherfucker. But yeah. I don't want to talk shit.
This league to me like was something I joined, and I like Hoove. He's a spunky fella. He's a spunky guy, right? So I love him, and he was just so ready to go, and we were all itching to do something because we were in that limbo phase. So we peer pressured him into having the draft a week early, right? And we were like, let's just do it. And it makes it fun because, you know, guys get hurt, as we've seen. Dobbins, all these guys, Cam Akers, all these dudes. And, you know, now you have to adjust, right, on the fly. So it's like we kind of had a fantasy training camp too. Like we had to sit there and hope, just like a real owner, that our guys don't get fucking hurt, right? Yeah. But the rules are weird, yo.
That's what threw me off. I didn't like. He was like, "Oh, you should have read the rules," and I'm like, "Oh, sorry." When you like invite someone to a league, you like tell them what the league's about, bro. Like you don't just throw them in a league.
We get to vote people's teams off the island or some shit, or I don't know what's.
Well, I get the in between. I get the in between shit because like I have my own league. Like I have my own little rules. Like if you come in last place, you know, winner of the league gets to like make a punishment for you, and like you have to complete the punishment and like that. But like I wasn't ready for that. And then but like he completely switched up the league with like the 2 QBs, 2 defenses.
Not only that, it's like the higher tier players or the top 3 scorers get the vote on one person who has to sit a player for that week or some shit.
Yeah,
that was strange.
I've never played some fantasy football like this. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird.
Game of Thrones meets fantasy football.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
I'm happy there's no money on it.
I wasn't ready for it, and it was weird because like he had hit he had asked me because I had told him, I was like, yo, I want to do fantasy. I wanted to do for breaking down the tape. We have Degenerates football,
right?
For fantasy football, and I had told him, I was like, yo, I want to do breaking down the tape, Degenerates, like a 2.0 sports me verse, where I bring like the best of the best more sports me guys on and do a fantasy football league.
Right.
I didn't get to do it.
Well, look,
I didn't get to do it because obviously he is.
Fantasy league that I do every year. Let me tell you what happens. Let me tell you the history of sports me a little bit. Let me tell you guys this, right? So I'm on
finger too.
Some fuckhead posts something and it has a sports me logo on the bottom. And I'm like, what the fuck is sports me, right? Ended up being this guy. He's a nice dude. I shouldn't call him fuckhead. His name's like the attorney at sports or something. He had this corny, just cringy Instagram show where he's like, court is in session for the attorney at sport. It was just horrible, right? But he would get on there and he would make these sports takes. So I'm like, let me see what this sports me thing's about. So I get on there. And it was me, like, I think Wyo or Ghost was on there. He might have been a month before me or so. Gooch was on there. This kid, Mike Bolig, Youngblood, they call him. Dan Spielboggle, Sauce Boss was on there. There was a couple of us, right? So there was only like 15 of us, right? So if you ever can, but the site kind of doesn't let you, go way back. Sports Me was fucking ruthless, boys. Like, it was fucking nasty. There was no safe space. There was no good vibes. There was no, there wasn't none of that. It was, you're a fucking piece of shit. I'll fuck you. It was hard. It was awesome, right? And we thought we were had something. But again, eventually, us cursing each other out for 16 hours a day didn't really But
you mean people don't want to be a part of that?
No. No, they don't want to see me, Drunken Monkey, and Zach call each other pieces of shit for 24 hours a day.
But it was like this. Like, Mike, I gave Jonah the name Old Man Fish Sticks because he looks like the Gordon Fish Stick guy, right? So I was sitting there and I was like we were busting on him. And don't let Jonah fool you. He was a fucking troll at the beginning. He was.
Oh, yeah.
That fucking, what is it?
Jonah Lee Curtis?
Jonah Lee Curtis.
But he got it right. So he went on to it, whatever. It was all good. But we all became friends. So when Sports Me eventually, Jeff had, his business partner, they kind of separated, whatever. Jeff kind of kept with it. But the app kind of slowed down, right? So we went on this app, Glide, and we stayed in touch. And we're great friends. Like, we've met up with each other, like some of us and stuff. So it's pretty cool. But like, when we came back with Sports Me was ramping back up again, we had that same juice. And then we had to get told we can't, be that way no more. So it was like, all right. So, but coming back to the whole thing, I started the Spank a Monkey Fantasy Football League, and I put this belt up that I had, and it was like that. So next year, you guys have to get in the drawing because we're going to have to shake the league up.
I know. I put my name. I didn't make it this year. I was mad.
It was like you didn't make it, Quentin didn't make it. Super Dave is like the luckiest fucking dude ever.
He is. That man got some luck. It must be the Boston luck for him.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck, man? I was like, I can't get rid of this guy. But he's awesome in there. But if you guys,
I was mad. I was ready for it. I was ready to take, because Jet the Vet jumped on today and flaunted the belt out, and I was like, motherfucker, you lucky I didn't play.
And he won it. I couldn't believe it, but he won it. But we do have a very competitive fantasy basketball league if you guys want in that. We're looking for a couple people. So just keep that in mind.
I've never played fantasy basketball. I'm willing to try it. And because because if you're saying it, if my first league, I don't mind jumping into the league that you're doing, and because I know you won't steer me wrong. So
tonight.
So hold on. First of all, Mikey from Game Point Live is saying that belt's gonna be his. So a little shit talking going on in the chat.
The only thing that Mikey needs is a fucking a clean shave and to get under some clean lighting and stop getting in that basement where he like probably touches little boys in.
Hey, don't hate on basements. Don't hate on basements.
That fake Wolverine wannabe beard too. You notice how he shaves that shit? He's trying to look like Wolverine with his little bald ass.
I know, right? He over there. Yo, I swear to God, he looks like Jared Dudley, bro. He can't be the sexiest man in sports me if he looks like Jared Dudley.
He does look like Jared.
Mike's gonna find out what y'all motherfuckers
like Jared Dudley, goofball bitch.
You can't say shit if you look like Jared Dudley, bro. You're about to be the fucking coach of the fucking like Mavericks or some shit. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
My God, y'all are mean to that poor boy, man. He just wants love.
Yo, I've been getting Drunken Monkey. I've been getting his laughter out lately. I've been fucking cracking jokes.
You should have heard Mikey talking about like he fired Ghost all the fuck up in the glide chat.
Yo, Ghost got shit. I'm sorry. I know Ghost is your right hand man, but I roasted the fuck out of him. And he's caught it from multiple people. He got no. I'm sorry. He's smart and everything, but he cannot roast with motherfuckers. I'm sorry.
And if anybody watches this, if you don't know the people we're talking about, you got to get on Sportsme and check it out because that's where we get these guys.
Max.
It's fucking insane, man. I'm telling you. Come on.
He's a shaved head away from looking like the movie Powder.
Oh my God, Mikey, do you want me to start on my own show? Bro, don't do this. Don't do this to you.
So, Monkey, I got a question for you, bro. Switching over to the NFL, I see you got your Eagles shirt on there. The real question of the day, are you coming to the December 5th game at the Meadowlands?
I am going to try my hardest. We may have
it's nothing but a yes.
I may have like a work conflict. That's the only thing. But
fuck work.
Huh?
I said fuck work.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying. I might just put in leave. Fuck it. I'll see if I can.
Yo, just say COVID. COVID.
Yeah. I'm going to say it, but it is leaning like 90% yes. So
nice. Good shit, bro.
That'd be awesome, bro. Granted, we know what you do. We know what you do, and people see my background and stuff. If you don't know, Drunken Monkey is a veteran himself and still works with the government and still works with the military members and service members out there. He still does his business and does everything he can to make sure that people come home safe.
But like I said, it shouldn't be a problem. We should be up there, but it doesn't matter because tickets at that point are going to be $20. We're going to have a combined 7 wins between the Eagles. We'll have 5 of them, and so
the Jets go to the Super Bowl. Jets are going undefeated to the Super Bowl.
Zach Wilson, me and Zachary, okay, Drunken Monkey, just hear it out.
Here's your fantasy Twitter take.
Drunken Monkey, this is the hottest. I said what I said that you're gonna hear. Me and Zach has spoken about it on Monday, and we've come to a realization. Zach Wilson is going to take the Jets to the Super Bowl. And right before he throws the winning touchdown to win the Super Bowl, Joe Namath is going to wither away and breaks the curse of the Jets not winning a Super Bowl over like 50 some odd years.
Well, that's very cute. It's a very notebookish, romantic, remember the Titans type thought.
I came up with it myself.
Is garbage. And look, I'm not saying was he a reach to me? Yes. Would I have taken him as the Jets GM? No. But again, I'm not the Jets GM. He was a reach. I look, come not this Sunday, but next Sunday, this preseason shit is done. Motherfuckers is now coming for a paycheck. Every one of those defensive linemen has, on the other side, has a bonus somewhere in their contract if they hit A, B, C, and D. and you're part of A, B, C, and D, whether it's sacks, tackles for a loss, whatever it is. So all them reads you could make in preseason and get all nice and squozy. And I'm not singling out Zach Wood. This goes for Trevor. This goes for Justin. This goes for Trey. This goes for all of them, right? Or it goes for Matt Jones. When you sit there and now it's money time, right? Playoff bonus checks, all this other shit. It's going to be fast, cuz. It's going to be fast, and just be ready. Like that Justin Fields shit, the best thing they could have did was sit in. Because when that boy said it was kind of slow, all right, Aaron Donald's coming for you Sunday or on Sunday night. Like, I hope, like, if he would have started, like, Aaron Donald is coming for you Sunday night. This isn't a fucking game anymore. Like these dudes are. The good thing I'll say about the Jets, I will say this, is they at least seem to be trending, right? Like they have a coach that seems prideful, unlike Adam Gase, right? They have a coach that seems very like in tune and wants to motivate younger players, right, and get it going. Right. It's kind of like Nick Sirianni in Philly. I don't know what that dummy's going to be, but he's at least motivated. He's coaching. You see him out there coaching players. Like, it's not like, yo, just shut the fuck up and run my system. He's out there telling them, put your foot in the dirt here, move your hips, and get up the field, right? So I think the Jets in that division, their way forward, while Zach Wilson will be a very integral part of that, they got to build that defense. You have to play defense in the AFC East.
That's the hardest part for the Jets right now, is that right now they're super weak at corner, and they just cut their fucking most experienced corner, which is still a rookie in my eyes. Yeah. So we don't know what the fuck's going on there. Then they go and they trade Herndon, which Herndon's been, to my eyes, people are like, why? And I'm like, Herndon, to me, didn't prove shit. He was always hurt, could barely prove himself. Why not trade him and get the fuck him out? I like Croft. From Buffalo. He's going to be the number one tight end. I like Croft.
Look, they have to just get their, like, as far like Miami, we don't know what Tua is going to be, right? A little shaky last year, all this stuff, right? They have a solid enough defense that can kind of cover that a little bit. Josh Allen can cover his defense by the way he plays, right? Buffalo can. But Sean McDermott's never going to have not a bad defense. They'll be adequate. You know what I mean? They'll be good enough to play ball. And the Patriots, to me, have one of the best defenses in the AFC this year. It's because all those players.
Plus for the Patriots now, though, because me and Zach just spoke about it Monday. Patriots, and it makes me cringe now because I picked the Patriots defense in that tribunal league as one of my two defenses, and now Stephon Gilmore is out till week 7. Yeah. Now I don't. That's the only reason I picked the Patriots defense. I don't even know if I want to.
I think I picked the Patriots defense in almost every league I'm in. Like, that's because they were just cheap.
Stephon Gilmore's a big bust, though. Like, you can't fill those shoes.
No, you're right.
It's still a Bill Belichick defense. Like, let's not pretend that, you know what I mean, Bill Belichick is out here scratching his head going, fuck, what do I do next? You know what I mean? Like,
Zach, well, we spoke about this, Zach. We spoke about this. It's a difference between it being, oh, I'm missing, my linebacker, my backup corner,
loss for sure,
whatever. But you're missing the best person on the defensive side of the football. You cannot replace that, especially when he's a shutdown corner.
So every with the damage, Bill Belichick issues, and I'm a history buff, right? I'm a history major. I'm a historyist. So the history of the NFL and why things happen are very important to me. You're talking about when Bill Belichick was the defensive coordinator. Like, everybody's like, oh, defenses can't adjust because the NFL's too wide open nowadays. Well, Bill Belichick went up against the K-Gun offense in Buffalo in the Super Bowl, which was a mirror kind of what we have now. Tempo, spread, open, running a lot out of the shotgun with Thurman Thomas, stuff like that. Dump downs to the running back. And Bill Belichick told his defense before that Super Bowl, Thurman Thomas has to rush for 1,000 yards or 100 yards and we'll win this game. And the defense was like, what are you talking about? They're like, if we can get Thurman, it means they're not throwing the ball. Like, we don't want them throwing the ball. We're going to play back and we're going to keep them running the ball. And in nowadays, if you could give that and then get up on them, it's like been a complete reversal. So it's like, okay, before it's like, stop the run, stop the run, stop the run. Now it's like, all right, run. Like, we'll eventually stop you enough times. You won't, like, you're just not going to rush for 6
yards. If you run, the clock still goes.
Yeah, the clock's still going, and we'll just beat you 17-13. That's fine. Like, that's okay with us. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. But I don't. Let me ask you guys a question. AFC East, it affects you guys. Was Mac Jones the right call?
For the Patriots, yes. For the Patriots, yes. I think in any other system, Mac Jones might do okay. Like in a Shanahan system over there in San Fran, I think Mac's okay. It's a quarterback-friendly system. I don't think he does well with the Jets. But for him falling to the Patriots was something that caused night terrors for a very long time. And if you go back, I think the video was taken down by YouTube because copyright infringement because we had the draft going. But I was calling as the draft was going on. I'm like, oh my God, Mac Jones is not coming off the board. Oh my fucking God, he's gonna fall to the Patriots. Holy fucking shit, he fell to. We're all fucked. We're all fucked. I firmly believe that he's the future.
Me and Zach spoke this into existence. Before the draft, before everything, we were like, if Mac Jones goes 15 to the Patriots, we're going to go another 20 to 30 years of misery, and the Jets will never win another fucking Super Bowl. And I don't want to jinx it or set a curse or anything, but we're already cursed. That's the worst that can happen. Literally the worst that can happen. And then we watched it happen before our eyes.
Well, and then now you guys got, for the NFL reason, you're looking at Mac Jones, Tom Brady, week 2 or 3? What week is that?
What? Isn't that week 5 that the Bucs
week
go
5
to New England?
Week 5.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's right. So
but I'm thinking, what if Mac Jones? Where else would Mac Jones fit? I could the Saints?
Yeah, maybe. So you're looking at Mac Jones as here's the thing. We can say what we want. There's the AJ whatever McCown's and Tua Tyler. Miami or Alabama quarterbacks get to the NFL, right? They get there. Whether they do anything or not, we got 3 getting ready. 3 or 4 getting ready to start, right?
Yep.
Ertz, Jones, Tua, and who's the other one? Is it 3? It's 3.
Yeah, I think it might be 3, and they all played on the same team at the same fucking time.
Oh yeah, McCarron is back up for Atlanta, and he's hurt. So no, yeah, he's not. So they got 3 getting ready to start that were all within a year of each other. All of their wide receivers are in the NFL. Harris, Judy, Waddle, fucking Smith. All these guys are in the NFL. All their running backs are in the NFL. Henry, fucking Najee Harris, all of them. So all their
running backs actually make it.
Right. So these guys are accustomed to playing with professional talent. That's another thing too. So Mac Jones, I think looking at it now, and I would have never said this going into the draft, he might be the most successful quarterback out of this draft group. He may, because it's one thing, he's stable, and is going from Nick Saban to Bill Belichick that big of a culture shock?
Not one bit. It's the same fucking thing.
You're literally going from Hall of Fame coach to Hall of Fame coach. You're going from 1A to or 1AB to 1A. You're going that's it.
So that's the only thing I'm looking at where they're looking at. It's dude, he fits like a glove there, man. I was pissed at first. I was like, fuck, because I'm a Cam guy. I was like, fuck that, man. Cam should have had that.
Me and Zach have been calling this. We were like, if he's not starting week 1, we would. It's not a surprise, but it will be a surprise if Mac Jones is not the guy.
More than anything is that Sam's Hotcakes was right. Sam's Hotcakes was right on that pick. I was like, God damn it. I can't even do anything.
You leave your son alone, all right? He tries hard over there, and he throws out 50 takes a day. One of them are bound to be right.
Listen,
right?
Yeah, that is true.
Listen, 600 of the 700 wins he got were hard-earned takes.
They were solo wins, boy. He was winning in solo.
So many people jumped on.
Let's keep in mind, Monkey has a lot of his wins from back then. Okay, I'm just saying the before times.
Hey, Monkey being the all-time winner, I'm just gonna say you longevity boy, longevity.
You have to remember, back then we didn't give out points to each other because we didn't want the other person to win. So you had to make a good point, like, in order to fucking win. Like, you had to fucking.
You know what's crazy? I still kind of hold to that. I don't give points to anybody for just like any fucking reason. If I give you a point, it's because I'm like, I bet that shit was good.
Well, football season, you used to be able to give 100 points out every so many hours, right? Back in the day. 100 points, right? We would be winning battles. You could give out 100, you were winning battles 12-8, shit like that, right? So
what up, Chaz?
So what we used to do was we would fucking bet points on football games.
Okay,
so
I see you.
Things I picked. Who was it one day? I picked the Colts to beat the Texans in the playoffs or some shit a couple years back. And I get on Sports Me, if you look at my old takes, and I'm like, Sauce Boss, 50 points, let's go. And everybody had to pay up the points. And that's how we would. That's the only way we got points, is you had to bet your points. That was it.
I see. I like that. I think that's the way of the future. I like that.
It is, and I hope we go to that. I think we should.
I got something for you guys. So, earlier today we found out that Indianapolis had taken Carson Wentz and a few guys off of the COVID list. Do you guys believe Carson starts week 1?
No. No, he's not going to start until like week 4. Why rush him back? You're not winning anyway.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. Like that. Like, you can't sit here and throw the fantasy world into an upheaval and everybody panicking when they're like, oh, he's going to be out 4 months and this, that. And like, even as an Eagle fan myself, I'm like, well, fuck it. We'll take the 2nd round pick. Whatever. No big deal. Like, you know what I mean?
He was fucking you guys over now.
Yeah.
Fucking.
But then now, look, listen, and I'm going to say it right here. And the Drunken Monkeys is a tad bit controversial. And don't take this wrong. Carson Wentz is a piece. He's a very good guy. Like, he's a very good guy. He does a lot for charities and shit like that. But as a football player, he's a piece of shit. Like, I can't deal with the shit no more. Like, I defended the guy for 3 fucking years. I watched him fucking get – and he was having a hell of a year in 17. But once Nick won it, it's over, bro. Nick is Saint Nick. He is the patron saint of Philadelphia. That's all there is. They should have traded him right then and there. Should trade. And that's coming from me. I don't think they should. Like, I was pissed. I was pissed that they traded him at first. But then it was like – just his shenanigans. Now he's talking about the vaccination and he's throwing all this shit out there. It's like, dude, just shut the fuck up. You're not even that good. Like, you have
that's another thing, the vaccination stuff. Like, there's a lot of the vaccination stuff with the players vaccinated and being vaccinated. You know, that's throwing a lot of sideways obstacles into everything. Like, people are now they're being fined, they're being kicked off the teams, they're being held off under certain situations, certain circumstances. We want to put into quotes, air quotes if you want.
Well, to me, I think it's the NFL's decision, like, right? So if the NFL says, look, you all have to be vaccinated or you can't play, then that's just what it is. Like I get an anthrax shot every year. Like, in my job, I have to, right? If I want to get paid and provide for my family, I get a fucking anthrax shot. Now, I get it. Football players are different. They're multimillionaires. They're millionaires dealing with billionaires, right? It's completely different. But at the same time, as a coach, like, I don't want one of my guys to be vaccinated, get it, and then, like, pass it on to 2 or 3 of my other guys. Right? That I'm looking out for them at that point. Like, so they're like, look, I'm cutting players because they're not vaccinated. And people are thrown into this whole ordeal. Urban Meyer, I think, said it. But But it's like, even if it is, fuck Urban Meyer.
Well, you can't. It is a good rule that you shouldn't be able to cut people for the vaccination.
But at the same time, they can spin that and say, listen, I'm not cutting them. I'm looking out for them. I'm cutting them because I have a bunch of players who are vaccinated. They're safe. They're not going to get hurt sick. They're not even going to get the symptoms, but they can still pass it to you. So in reality, the insurance part of this for the NFL is that we're cutting these players because we don't want to pay their medical bills. If they're on a respirator because they made the choice not to get the vaccine, we have to pay for that shit. So NFL is just going to spin that right away and say, we're looking out for them. We're cutting them because we love them.
I fuck with that. Like, if a coach had come out and said, look, we're out here cutting players. Like, look, I cut certain players who are on the bubble who might have made the roster because they were unvaccinated because the NFL is going to make us forfeit games. Okay, I understand that, right? Like, it's a business. It's supposed to be about a business. But when you have a guy like Urban Meyer, who's a rookie head coach, who has already had the Tim Tebow experiment, who has already split reps with fucking Trevor Lawrence and Gardner Minshew, just
and
to
had his coach that was a fucking
weirdo. Right. And then all of a sudden you have him say this, and it's like, Urban, shut the fuck up. You're already not good at this job. You don't need to tell people how bad you are.
Yeah, this isn't Ohio State. This isn't Florida where you're King Dick. Like, you're small fish now in big pond. Like, you were big fish in big pond out there in college land, but here you just shut the fuck up. Like, you should be focused on.
I don't think there should be a mandate, though. I don't think there should be a mandate, but there should be something. There's something better. You can't force someone. Like, it's free will. This is America. You also got to remember, besides the job, besides the sport, and Drunken Monkey, you can attest to this. Besides the job, the sport, or whatever, you came to America for free will. You're a free person to do what and if you want, and if you are able to do your job properly,
right?
And they not have any contest to it.
Here's what I would say the NFL does for 1 year and 1 year only. If you get vaccinated, your contracts become completely guaranteed. Just do that.
Just a single year, not the whole contract. Just a single year.
1 year, your contract becomes.
So, like, if you're that 1 year you were 12.5, 8.5 guaranteed, the whole 12.5 is guaranteed.
If you get vaccinated, there you go. Is the vaccination worth $4 million? Like, when you get paid, like, to not have to worry about it. All these players talk about, I need to think of my safety, I need to think of my family, my peace of mind. Cool. If you get vaccinated this year and you can show us proof, boom, or you get vaccinated by the team, good to go. Every vaccine.
The craziest part is if you don't tell them you're vaccinated or tell them you're vaccinated, whatever. Like, right now, it's not like our jobs aren't Drunken Monkey, you still are in more of a significant job where people need to know your status. But if just regular Joe Schmoes out here, no one knows who's vaccinated and who's not vaccinated. No. So why does it really fucking matter?
It does.
If I could literally be standing next to someone who doesn't fucking have it, he could be coughing, sneezing, and shit all over me.
Right, but we're not talking about your political rights. We're talking about working for a company that's requiring you to essentially wear a shirt while you're at work.
Right.
And if you don't like working for the company that requires these things, then that's outstanding. You have free will. Your free will to not work for that company anymore.
I mean, maybe the XFL isn't required.
But they can also say that they're discriminating because of
now
a certain situation.
Right. And I would say, like, if I was an NFL coach or GM and someone came, well, you're discriminating. You're right. I am, because the NFL is going to take away wins from me, money out of my paycheck, and I'm not going to let you affect my paycheck.
It's not. The thing is that.
So you're just defending your paycheck and not defending the fact of everyone else in the NFL is.
They can defend their own paycheck.
No, you're defending the big guy when the big guy's over there just fucking eating up all the money anyway.
I'm defending my paycheck. The big guy has the money. I don't get to do anything about it. I got to go out there and win and make money. God, I'm so happy you had shorts on. That could have gone terribly wrong for a second. That could have gone very, very wrong.
I was going to show you my ass.
I've seen your ass. I've known you for like 15 years.
Fucking Ohio State.
Oh, they're not covering.
What are they doing?
What else we got?
Well, I was going to ask Monkey what he thinks like a realistic. So first of all, I want to know his thoughts on Gardner Minshew. What do you think about that trade? Since we're
the man in jorts.
Listen, Master Jorts.
Listen, the thing about Gardner Minshew is this, right? The Eagles traded a 6th-round pick. Here's what Gardner Minshew brings. He brings a bunch of little stupid bandanas in the gift shop. He brings a bunch of them little stupid mustaches in the gift shop. People are going to buy them. People are going to eat them up. They get them made in North Korea for 14 cents. Jeffrey Warriors 99.
Oh,
People are going to do it at the stadium, right? So that's what he brings. He is a fucking horrible quarterback. Can he come in and win you a game? If Jalen Hurts is out 2 weeks, can he come in and win you a game? Yeah.
Are you really writing Jalen Hurts that bad?
I fucking don't like him. I don't like him. I think he's a stopgap. I'm not a Jalen Hurts guy at all.
But why Gardner Minshew? You have Joe Flacco. Why are we not like? Why are we forgetting about Joe Flacco?
Joe Flacco's trash. He's not good. He's garbage.
I can't. I'll let you guys talk. I can't talk Joe Flacco. I'm a Delaware guy, man. I'm UD.
No. Okay, so Joe Flacco on the Ravens. They went to the Super Bowl. They won. I get it. But Joe Flacco on the Jets as a backup showed he's garbage and should have retired. Joe Flacco getting traded to the Eagles and being a backup. Bro, just take your bread, go to Cabo, and relax.
On the Jets, though. Like, the Jets were bad. Like, they were bad. Like they were bad. Like the Eagles.
And what the Eagles are going to be? The Eagles are going to be last in the division.
No, now see that I don't believe.
The Eagles at 5. The Eagles at 5-10 can probably like that late in the season are probably still competing for first.
Yeah, they're in it. Yeah, at 5-10 in that division, they're in it. Like they can win that shit still. So I don't know. Don't give me that shit. No, realistically, the Eagles' upside or the Eagles' floor is 5 wins, right? The Eagles' ceiling is 10. Like, if you look at their schedule, there's games in there they could win. The defense is not as horrible as people think, right? It's really not. Hurts, it all depends on Hurts. And I hate as an Eagles fan because it all depends on wins. It all depends on this. Like, we've always had quarterback issues since McNabb. Like, since McNabb was traded, it's been a shit show, right? It's been Vic, it's been Cobb, it's been fucking Huey, Dewey, and Louie. It's been Carson. It's been fucking this dude. Like, so it's like everything about McNabb was the staple for 13 years. Like, he was the rock, right? Say what you want. He didn't play good in big games and shit and fucked up sometimes. But you knew you were always in the shit, right?
Right.
Now you knew with Donovan McNabb as your quarterback with Andy Reid, it was 10 wins, baby, and we were going to playoffs. And we'll let the chip forward. Now with these chuckleheads,
until Donovan McNabb and T.O. had an argument, and then you were like, "Fuck."
Oh, that was the biggest mistake the Eagles have ever made in the last 30 years. Is letting T.O. walk away. That was the stupidest thing ever. But again,
they definitely. I stand by that. I said what I said. They definitely would have won a Super Bowl if T.O. would have stood there.
I think they would have gotten one. They would have gotten one.
One. I wasn't gonna say no crazy like fucking 2 or 3 or 4, but like they would have got one. No,
they would have gotten the one. The Eagles would have gotten the Super Bowl that they would have. Was it the Ravens? No, it would have been that one. That was way later. It was the Patriots. I keep saying it was Patriots. They would have gotten the Super Bowl.
I'm saying the year after, not the year after they lost, but the year after that.
They would have beaten the Patriots the year after they lost to the Cardinals, I think. Or they would have beaten – no, that's what it was. They would have beaten the Cardinals if they would have had T.O., and they would have won – they would have been Cardinals-Pittsburgh, and they would have beaten Pittsburgh. I firmly believe that. So, That's what I think. But
That's a bold take.
they got
He said what he said.
Yeah, no, I really believe that. They still would have had TO. That would have been a Pittsburgh Eagles Super Bowl, not Cardinals. And they would have been okay. But that's here. But my team's they're a bunch of idiots, dude. Dude, we got our
Andy Reid is eating very, very good cheeseburgers out in KC.
Who is?
Chris Boots, a buddy of mine from KC, said the dumbest move the Eagles have made is letting go of Andy Reid.
No, absolutely not. That had to happen. He was there too long. I'm not.
He was. I do believe that.
Yeah, he was there too long.
Andy Reid gets a bad rap for his time on the Eagles, man.
Because he couldn't. I mean, he almost made it, but then he couldn't make it, and then he couldn't get it done, and then he had bad stint again, and then you gotta just move on.
When you're 1-4 in NFC Championship games, and you were favored in almost all of them but one, I think they weren't favored the year the Rams beat them because they were the greatest show on turf, and they
right.
And back then the lineup was right. You like you said, you had Donovan McNabb, Deshaun Jackson. Like you had like a squad that was fast, hard defense. Like
it was
a real squad.
Yeah, but I don't know what the fuck is Ohio State doing.
We're gonna watch the fall of a monkey.
Yo, dude, Ohio State.
I wouldn't doubt that. Andy Reid, first ballot Hall of Famer.
You know what? I hope you fucking lose. You fucking scumbags.
That's Drunken Monkey for you guys.
Oh shit! How are they down?
They're losing, and Minnesota's moving the ball a little bit. I don't think they might get some points before half, but these fucking idiots. I hope they lose and then they lose next week and it puts them out of the fucking playoffs. That's why.
How much did you put on it?
Like I don't know. I'm not. My wife's over there. I can't fuck.
Never mind. I apologize.
Put it this way: you see this ring light? It might not be operational next month if you lose it. Where the candles at? Candles out. We ain't paying the light bill. Fuck it. You could float a light bill. For people out there, let you know if you got kids, a gas bill too. If it's winter, they won't shut your shit off. So let them see. Some of y'all out there, I can tell y'all ain't never had to fucking do this shit before, but we'll get you.
Try to let you know they won't shut your shit off if you got kids. They won't.
Tell the gas company you got kids, don't turn my heat off, and they won't do it. So
after that statement, I know for a fact Drunken Monkey grew up eating hamburgers on plain white bread.
Exactly, because we got hamburgers.
Wait, where it gets soggy? Where it gets soggy when you put ketchup on and shit and it's fresh off the grill?
The whole center part. Oh, yeah. We got burgers at home. That's what Mom used to say.
Yeah, I want McDonald's. No. We got McDonald's at home, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'll make you McDonald's.
No, I'll make you McDonald's.
Motherfucker.
All right, man. We're getting to the end here. I know that you've talked about fantasy football Twitter a lot. I want to know your ridiculous fantasy football Twitter take that you can come up with, not that you've seen.
Not that I've seen. The one that I can come up with is that every player past the 9th round is a league champion winner. Like every player you could pick, man. These cocksuckers pick every fucking player you could think of after the 9th round. This guy's gonna win your league. Like, who's the dummy on Sports Me now who just came on there? Antonio Gibson will win it. He's a fucking 2nd round pick, you dipshit. Yeah, he probably has a pretty good chance to win you a league. Like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? Like, what is going on? I really like Kyle Pitts. Well, no shit, Sherlock. I think, wait.
Experts. Those are experts you're talking about, Drunken Monkey. How dare you?
Experts. They crack me the fuck up. Half of them, how you going to be a fantasy football expert wearing a Costco shirt, cuz? Like you ain't getting, like, come on, man. We got access to the same websites. Like, just
you're beating me to the ESPN alert.
Just tell me who you like, man. I like this guy. Cool. Let's talk as fans. Let me put my public. Let's talk as fans. Don't sit there. Hi, this is Jim Bob McGee from Sports Network in fucking Kalamazoo. Nobody gives a fuck. Just shut up. Like, who did you pick? Nobody cares. You got $15 on the line at your family's fucking barbecue. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, just pick a pick, man.
My favorite thing is going on Twitter in the morning to see who and how Monkey's been pissed off that day and what he's gonna say about fantasy football.
The Monkey pissed off like trial of the day. Like,
I've been blocked by two Twitter accounts. No, in 2 days, so 4 total Twitter accounts because they said, "What's your favorite fantasy football team name?" And everybody's like, "Haha, Ert's so good." I'm like, "Wet pussy farts." Like, that's my favorite.
My pussy farts.
How is that not the best team name ever? Like,
what do I say to that?
Wet pussy farts. That's the best fantasy team name ever. Like, what are you talking about? Like, or hanging with Hernandez. Like, those are the types of shit. Like, that's the fantasy football names that are the shit. Like,
I found my new fantasy football name for the degenerates. It's either Wet Pussy Farts or Hanging with Hernandez.
Hanging with Hernandez, man. That's the greatest one ever. But yeah, we'll see. Catch us on the Twitters. We'll get on there, rouse some people up this week. We'll do it again.
Oh boy.
Oh man, and this is Drunken Monkey. This is who we've been talking about. This is the man you've seen live. Finally, you see his face. And I'm gonna let you guys know now. Again, a little teaser out there. Later on in the future, around the time of hint, the Jets-Eagles game, possibly that Thursday, we will have Drunken Monkey live again to break down the Jets-Eagles game and just pretty much go ape shit against each other. It might be a little too ruthless for people because we're just gonna like hate each other that day.
There's gonna be a lot of alcohol.
Look, man, we're vying for like you figure we'll be playing for what, the 4th round or the 4th draft pick overall? I mean,
yeah, either 3rd or 4th. You know? Yeah.
We'll get to see Gardner Minshew versus who's your guys backup.
Hey, the Jets are used to winning a top 5 pick, so be careful.
Mike White, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. He'll definitely be playing that game.
The Jets are used to winning a top 5 pick, so be careful. Be careful.
Hey, we're on it.
All right, Monkey, before we let you go, bro, let everybody else know again where they can find you, big dog.
Drunken Monkey 82 at Instagram. We're going to start with the hottie of the day again. We're going to start posting some tits and ass. Where's my wife? All right. Yeah, so we're good. We're going to start posting the hottie of the day. We're going to start posting pics. And then we're going to be posting the infamous Drunken Monkey parlay of the week. The I Got 5 on it. We're going to do the I Got 5 on it pick of the week. Where I play $5, 4 teams. We win $50 or we don't. So we'll be doing that on Instagram as well. And then at Drunken Monkey, this stupid thing, fucking Miami. I'm a Notre Dame.
So naturally. I did it so naturally.
Field goal.
I'm a Notre Dame fan. I fucking hate Miami.
Moose.
3 cheers for Notre Dame.
That's where you can find me. Get on there, cut it up. I'm not no bitch, so you can talk shit, and we'll all talk shit and have some fun. So,
all right. Well, now you guys know where to find him.
That's
fucking Drunken Monkey for you bitches.
Mm-hmm.
Hector, send us out, brother.
Lose me money.
As he cracks the beer, I'll let you know that is Drunken Monkey. You catch him, a.k.a. December 9th. Now I'll let you know. I said what I said, bitches.
Owie.